Allow me to introduce you guys to possibly the best athlete in the NBA.
Wow! Oh my goodness! Thompson!
Wow! And that right there is the only reaction.
Wow! Oh my goodness!
To some of the freakish plays that Alperen Thompson makes on a regular basis. Because there are good athletes, there are very good athletes, and then there's someone like Alperen Thompson who does things that don't even look real.
Here comes Thompson. Oh! To the rim with authority!
No, that clip wasn't edited. That is just Alperen Thompson. And it's one thing for Alperen to have the highlight package and the glimpses of stardom that he has shown early in his career. It's a whole different thing for him to be an elite contributor on one of the best teams in the NBA as a 21-year-old. Because right now, the Houston Rockets are third in the Western Conference, and Alperen Thompson has quite possibly been their second best player this season. And we could already see the impact on the court, but the stats are starting to back that up as well, particularly as a starter. Because in 5 games as a starter this year, he's averaging 16.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 4.4 stocks per game on really solid efficiency. And I know that's a small sample size, but it's effectively the same kind of numbers he's putting up off the bench. The difference is the amount of minutes he is playing. And every single game he plays, it looks more and more obvious that he needs to be playing 35 minutes a night and he needs to be starting every night. Because you just don't see his combination of elite defense, elite rebounding, efficient scoring as a cutter and in transition, and the ability to playmake from many other players in the NBA. And when I say elite defense, look at him here against Jared McCain on an island, moving his feet great laterally and then having the verticality to go up and block the McCain underhanded layup attempt. Yes, I am aware that was a rookie, but a man has done this to all of the best players in the NBA as well. From shifty guards to bigger wings, his combination of lateral movement, strength, and verticality makes him already one of the best wing defenders in the league in just his second season. I mean, look at this play with the men backtracking in transition against a 2-on-1. He does a good job at stunting at pull initially, and then when the pass is made, look at Alperen just hang in the air before blocking George. Let me emphasize that. He was just hanging in midair as George tried to reverse it around him, and Alperen said, none of that. And what makes Alperen so scary as a defender is even if by some chance you get past him, he has the recovery speed and the jumping ability to come from behind and swat your shot. In fact, he is now averaging over a block a game this season. But just like on offense, it's more than just the highlights. How about the intangibles? Like here where Valanciunas is trying to seal him in the post. Paul throws a pretty solid entry pass if Alperen Thompson wasn't the main defender, because he has the length and athleticism to get up and disrupt that pass, forcing the turnover. I mean, if you want any idea as to how highly Ime Udoka thinks of a man on the defensive end of the floor, this is what the Rockets GM said about that. He's not particularly happy when someone scores on a man. In Ime's world, that should be an impossibility, and if it occurs, it's because a man did something wrong. And this tells us 2 things. 1, there is a very high level of confidence from Ime in Amen's ability, and 2, Amen is willing and ready to take on criticism all the time, which shouldn't be a surprise when you hear him speak or any quotes about his professionalism, his personality, and his work ethic, but this just reinforces that. But before we talk about that, let's thank the sponsor of today's video, MyBookie. The NBA season is properly underway, and we are already seeing historic performances from some of the greatest players ever. From Giannis dropping monster triple-doubles to win the in-season tournament, to Wemby Well, doing this. And what better way to enjoy all of this historic action than with MyBookie, who take live odds on literally every single action, like Wemby recording 5 blocks or Cat grabbing 20 boards, and you don't need to wait. I'll make it easy for you. Jump in right now with code 6MAN and double your deposit. That's more bankroll to back up your picks, whether it's NBA or college hoops. And you can use MyBookie Bet Builder to get creative, with player props and single game parlays so you can strike the right combo to maximize your payout. Take advantage of daily bet boosts and a risk-free offer every Thursday. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And when we talk about Amen, there are so many aspects of his game that are intriguing. Obviously, his defense is already elite, but despite not being a shooting threat, he has found a way to be an efficient scorer, using all of his positive attributes, whether that's getting the ball and pushing coast to coast in transition, or using that burst of speed and handle paired with his size to bully smaller defenders. Like here where he gets the ball, and with battle backtracking, it's that combination of acceleration before using his shoulder to discard of battle and then having the ability to slow himself down and float it in. One thing you'll also notice about Amen is whilst he clearly doesn't have great shooting touch on mid-ranges or from the 3-point line yet, he has some of the most unconventional finishes you will see. And that has to do with his athleticism, because his ability to get into the chest of defenders and just hang in the air, somehow finishing through contact, is jaw-dropping, and he does it in such awkward but yet great ways. Honestly, it's a joy to watch. And I don't think I can stress enough just how freakishly fast he is in transition. It's this combination of acceleration, deceleration, body control, handle, and finishing ability that makes him almost unguardable when he gets the ball in transition. It's just a matter of continuing to find ways to score at a very effective rate in the half court as well. And one of those ways has to do with Alperen Sengun. I've mentioned this before, but how good a player is can often depend on the situation and who they are playing next to. Thompson and Alperen Sengun complement each other's games so well. Amen makes Alpi's life so much easier on defense, and Alpi's passing and ability to find Amen as a cutter or on lobs makes his life so much easier on offense. And the numbers reflect that as well. Oh my word, do they reflect that, because with both Alpi and Amen on the floor, the Rockets have a net rating of plus 14. That would be best in the league comfortably, but with just one of them on the floor, that drops to about a net rating of plus 2 or plus 3, which is still pretty good, but it's the difference between a solid playoff team and a championship level team. But getting back to what makes Amen so great, one thing about him that separates him even more as an athlete isn't just that burst of speed or his ability to jump out of the gym, but it is how quickly he can get off the floor, either following up his own miss or following up someone else's missed shot. Like here where off the green missed 3, look at Amen come in and just sky for the dunk. And one thing that you notice with a lot of these Amen clips is listen to the crowd.
Here's Green with a 3, no, and
yeah, there are certain players that can make a crowd have a collective ooh, and Amen is one of those guys who does it routinely. And it's this exact reason why he's one of the best rebounders in the league relative to size and position. And a lot of this is his length and athleticism, but he's also just got that extra bit of hustle that you often associate with the best rebounders in the league, which translates across the entirety of his game. Which is what I mean about Amen's impact. He might never be an elite scorer, although I'm not putting a ceiling on anything he does, but even if he were to average 18 points a game in his prime, you get so much more than just the scoring. You get the all-NBA level defense, elite rebounding, high IQ, and point guard traits as well, and we're already seeing that right now. Now, if you did make it all the way to the end of the video and want to see more content on things like that, consider subscribing, dropping a like on the video would be cool. Most importantly, have a great day. Bye.